Hello, my name is Brandon. When first assigned this project of finding an ecological pattern out in nature, there were many different areas I considered studying. I was having quite a hard time choosing what to focus on, but then it dawned on me. Why don't I just study a pattern that is part of my everyday surrounding and something that I can observe on a day-to-day basis? So that's exactly what I did. For my ecological pattern project, I decided to study the daily behavior patterns of a house spider. But not just any house spider. Meet Fiona. She's a false widow spider, part of the genus Steatoda. You can tell Fiona is a female because of her round, bulbous abdomen, while males tend to appear slimmer and have longer legs. Fiona is part of the cobweb spider family, meaning she builds pretty messy and irregular webs that are commonly found on man-made structures, which explains why she made her home near our porch light. Not only did I find this study to be unique, but it's something that I've been observing for quite a long time now. Fiona herself has been around for a while. I believe she first appeared sometime during the fall of 2025 when she was just a baby spider. At first I didn't think much of it, but over time I began noticing her more and more. Every morning tucked into the crevice behind the porch light, or every night when I left the house. At this point, it almost feels like she's become a permanent resident. So the big question I had was, how does this spider survive? And why has it taken refuge in a place like this for so long? For this study, I decided to observe Fiona over the course of 5 consecutive days, focusing on her morning, afternoon, and nighttime routines. My goal was to answer 3 main questions. 1, when she was most active. 2, what kind of behaviors and activities she displayed. And 3, how human interaction, such as turning the porch light on and off, affected her daily routine. I found these questions important because they allowed me to observe not only how an organism functions on its own, but also how it adapts and behaves alongside humans. Since human activity is everywhere, it inevitably impacts the lives and behaviors of many other living animals. To understand Fiona a bit more, I did some research on her species, the false black widow. This species of spider is very common in the US alongside its relative, the noble false black widow. These spiders like to take space in homes or gardens, usually in unoccupied, quiet areas. One thing I wanted to make sure as someone who was previously afraid of spiders as a young kid was if it was venomous, which thankfully they are not, though their bite can lead to infection. And they do not tend to attack unless it's purely for defense. This alone brought me some clarity in getting so close to do this project. Next, I searched its behavior. The false black widow is a nocturnal spider species, only active throughout the night to avoid predators and human interaction. Like me, these spiders are more reserved and only come out for food or to fix their messy house. So I put this information to the test. Over the course of the 5 days, I would observe Fiona for 10 minutes at a time. As expected, the mornings were usually quiet. Sometimes I could see Fiona resting near the opening of the crevice behind the porch light, while other times she was completely hidden deeper inside. The afternoons were still fairly calm, though I noticed she would slowly begin preparing for the night. Nighttime was when her activity was at its highest. That was when Fiona would fully emerge from her hiding spot, moving around her web, repairing strands, and maintaining her home. At first I expected her to be even more active because the porch light attracted so many insects. However, on the 3rd and 4th nights, I decided to turn the porch light off to see how it would affect her behavior. When I checked on her an hour later, she was noticeably more active. Using only my phone light to observe her, I watched her travel farther from her hiding spot than I have ever seen before, and she even caught an insect in her web. From this, I concluded that human activity does play a significant role in how creatures like Fiona behave. It seems that, like many spiders, she prefers to avoid human presence whenever possible. And honestly, I'd like to keep it that way. Fiona has been here for months, harming no one, simply trying to survive just like the rest of us. This concludes my study on Fiona, our friendly false widow spider. Thank you for watching.